Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Tuesday, April 26, 2022. Stand up for your country. Well, as you know, if you've been watching me over the years, I'm not a party guy. I'm a registered independent. I don't follow the various political parties or what they're doing, what they're not doing. I don't care. You ask me to dine with either Charles Schumer, the majority leader in the Senate, or Mitch McConnell, the minority leader in the Senate, I would likely decline unless they were paying. And then I would order the lobster, okay? Because I really don't want to go through the political machinations. I've been in the business too long. My job is to keep an eye on everybody so that you don't get hosed. And that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So there is an attack on the Republican Party going on in Washington. It's not getting a lot of traction, but it's there, and I'll put it into perspective for you. It all has to do with the January 6th House Committee. Now, as we've analyzed, this committee is only in business to take Donald Trump off the board. That's all they want to do. I don't believe there's going to be any criminal thing happen from it. Maybe they'll make a referral, but it doesn't mean anything. They're holding some people in contempt. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, Barack Obama's attorney general was held in contempt. How far did that go? Nowhere. So it's just a giant ruse. All right? The January 6th committee doesn't want to know the truth about what happened on January 6th. That's the last thing they want to know. But they do have the power to subpoena. And if they ask for a document, you have to send it. Or then you can get into trouble. So Mark Meadows was the chief of staff for Donald Trump for 10 months, from March 31st, 2020 to January 20th, Inauguration Day 2021. There's Meadows. So Meadows was involved in the end of the Trump era. He was involved in the election. He was involved in January 6th. He is a key player. So the committee, and okay, I don't have any beef with that. They should send us over all your correspondence about Election Day and about January 6th. Now, Meadows had to know as soon as the Democrats got that, they'd leak it to the press, which is exactly what happened. It is a dishonest game, which is why I don't get involved with party politics. It is essentially dishonest. So they get Meadows' email and they kick it out to the liberal press. All right. Now, I went over it. I don't really see what the big deal is here. But let me walk through it. You may disagree. So Meadows, in his correspondence, indicates that he was warned about violence, potential violence, before January 6th. Well, everybody was. As we've proven beyond any doubt, Donald Trump knew there might be trouble, and he asked the Pentagon on the 5th of January, one day before, to consider sending National Guard to protect the Capitol. Now, that's in stone. He did it. We have him on tape saying it. We have the Pentagon backing it up. Now, little controversy begins because Trump, as president, did not have the power to send the National Guard on the grounds of the Capitol. That power is in the hands of Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, and Nancy Pelosi did not do it. Pelosi says, I didn't even know about it. Baloney. But be that as it may, she didn't ask for the Guard or any other protection from the local Washington, D.C. authorities. And then January 6th happened. Okay, so Meadows was warned. All right, everybody was warned. The second thing that the Democrats are jumping up and down about is that Meadows was part of a call that encouraged supporters to march to the Capitol. Okay. Everybody in the Trump White House and all Trump supporters wanted a massive demonstration. They did. Is that a bulletin? That's why all those people came to Washington, to demonstrate that they believed the election was fraudulent. And the Trump White House wanted them to do that because the Trump White House believed the election was fraudulent. Okay? That's what they believed. They wanted a massive demonstration. But they didn't want violence. They didn't want the Capitol assaulted. There's no evidence that anybody, in fact, Donald Trump Jr., who's caught up in this because he did email Meadows, he said, all right, condemn the violation of the Capitol. He said, this is Donald Trump Jr. Okay? All right. So, because the president, Donald Trump at the time, did discuss the Pentagon sending a National Guard to protect the Capitol, that wipes out any premeditation on the part of Trump or Meadows or anybody else. So if you say they wanted violence at the Capitol, you can be proved a liar. And that's what this is all about. It's what it's all about. Now, it's not stunning to think that there were extremists in the Trump camp that wanted them, martial law or whatever, or justifying what happened. Yeah, there are extremists in the Trump camp. Everybody knows that. There are extremists in the Democratic Party, and some of them are sitting on the January 6th committee, are they not? So what is this all about? I don't know what this is all about. Maybe I'm not smart enough to grasp it. Okay? But for me, I'm watching this stuff and I'm going, yeah, tell me something I don't know. And that's the memo. President Biden's schedule today, it's a bit light. Nothing. There's his schedule. Nothing. So yesterday he met with the Tampa Bay Lightning because they won the Stanley Cup last year, and today he has nothing. I don't know. I got to tell you, I just don't know. Maybe he has a tummy ache. I don't know. But the Vice President, Kamala Harris, tested positive for COVID. And we wish her a speedy recovery. We are not that kind of people. We don't wish anybody physical ailments. All right? Her spokesperson, I'm not sure who that is because they resign every day over there, as we reported yesterday, says the Vice President exhibited no symptoms, will isolate and continue to work from the Vice President's residence. Okay, well, maybe she's working on the border. I don't think so, but possible. Okay, and let's take a look at the border. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So a federal judge, Louisville, Kentucky, Judge Robert Summerhays, appointed by Trump, he has blocked the White House from knocking out the Title 42 COVID restrictions for migrants in May. So the federal judge said, you cannot do that because COVID's still here. It's still a public health problem, and you can't knock it out. Now, here's the interesting thing about this story. Biden's not going to appeal this, I don't think. If I'm wrong on this, I'm going to make fun of myself. This gives Biden cover because his own party is rebelling against him rescinding Title 42. This gives Biden cover. Oh, I really want to do it, but the federal judge won't do it. So I don't expect the Justice Department to appeal this ruling, as they have appealed the Remain in Mexico policy. And today the Supreme Court heard arguments on that. A few facts. So as you may know, the Trump administration pretty much stopped massive migration by ordering people seeking asylum be processed and immediately returned to Mexico. Remain in Mexico while your case is adjudicated. But Biden knocked that out the first day in office, and the result is 800,000 people, at least, foreign nationals, the Biden administration put them into the country unsupervised. 800,000 in a little more than a year. It's staggering. Just think about that. So anyway, a bunch of states, led by Texas and Arizona, they sued the Biden administration saying, hey, you can't knock out this Remain in Mexico policy. And it's all the way into the Supreme Court. And I will predict the Supreme Court will say, you can't knock it out without Congress voting on it. See, Biden just does all this stuff by executive order, and it's against what the founding fathers put in. If you have a law, the law is passed by Congress. Okay, so that's in the Supreme Court. We'll have a decision third week in June, I think, on that. And keep your eye on the other thing with Biden appealing Title 42. I don't believe he is. If you are stuck in a timeshare and you haven't called Lone Star Transfer yet, what are you waiting for? Lone Star Transfer has helped more than 16,000 happy customers. They are family owned, have a 99% success rate. Their process is done legally, ethically, and quickly. I mean, does it get better than that? The team at Lone Star Transfer will keep you informed every step of the way until you are legally and permanently released from your timeshare. So don't pay another penny for a timeshare you don't use. Get peace of mind today with Lone Star Transfer. They guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Give Lone Star Transfer a call for a free no-obligation consultation. 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. All right, one of the states most affected by illegal immigration is Arizona. So the last poll that we could find says 73% of Arizonans think that this massive illegal immigration is a national security crisis. Okay, only 18% of Arizonans don't. So that's a colossal thing. Now, as you may know, there is a gubernatorial race in November in Arizona. And one of the people running is Karen Taylor Robeson, who joins us now from Phoenix. So you are locked in a tight race for the Republican nomination, and your primary issues are the economy and inflation. Obviously, that's the biggest one for all Americans. And secondly, immigration. You have put forth a 6-point plan. Now, I'm sorry I'm doing most of the talking, but I'm going to let you do. But I have to set this up because most people don't live in Arizona, although they'd like to, some of them. Okay, first of all,
they're moving here. They're moving here.
Yeah, it's obviously Californians are going, yeah, let me go there. So you want an emergency session of the state legislature? Sure, that's no problem. You want to utilize surveillance technology? I don't think there's a problem with that. You want to enter a multi-state compact with California? That's not going to do you any good. New Mexico, not going to do you any good, but Texas would. But the other 3 points are somewhat controversial. The first one is construct the wall. So as you know, because you're a native Arizonan, most of the land that borders Mexico in Arizona is either federal land or tribal land, Indian reservations, okay? And the state of Arizona is not allowed to do anything on that land unless they get permission from the tribes or the federal government. The federal government is certainly not going to give you permission to build a wall at this point. So what kind of a wall, if you're elected governor, would you build?
Well, Bill, first, thank you for having me and calling attention to the crisis in Arizona, because it's we're really on the front lines of a 50-state border crisis. But we do have state land, we have private land, we have federal land, and we have tribal land. And so my plan calls for us building the wall where we can, which would primarily be state land where we do have jurisdiction, and on private land with willing property owners. But I can tell you, having met with and talked to property owners and ranchers along the border, I believe they would be very willing to have the wall constructed on their property.
And I think you're right. You know, in Pima County, I don't know if the Native Americans would cooperate with you, but I think the private ranchers would certainly like more protection. But you know as well as I do that you build a wall and you'd have to be back off the border because you can't build it on federal land. It'd be back a little bit. That the coyotes, the smugglers, the people and drug smugglers, they're just going to go to a place that doesn't have the wall. So wouldn't that be a waste? Wouldn't that be a waste of money?
No, because where you have a wall, it works. And then it allows you to more efficiently and effectively utilize the limited resources you have, and you can concentrate them on the areas where there is no wall. So, I've seen it. I've seen where it works. And of course, where there's no wall, it doesn't work.
Did
And
you
so we
estimate
will
how much wall you could build legally? Do you have an estimation, and how much that would cost the state of Arizona?
we have about 20 miles of state land and a significant amount of private land. And I don't have the exact mileage, but I believe that we could cover a lot of territory, and therefore our local law enforcement can be concentrated on the areas where we don't have a wall. And
Okay.
and you referenced
Good.
part of my plan is to go to the legislature. Fortunately, because we've got, good Republican leadership in the state of Arizona, we have a huge surplus. We have a $5.3 billion surplus right now. So we can and we must find the resources to send down to our local law enforcement in our border counties.
I
You know,
didn't know
you've
that.
got
So that would take care of the funding. Now, the second thing that I want to talk to you about is that part of your plan says surge the National Guard. But as you know, the Posse Comitatus Act prevents the Arizona National Guard or any other state. They cannot detain or deport migrants. They can't arrest them. They can hold them for a certain amount of time until, I guess, local authorities would come, because again, federal authorities aren't going to help you out. If you're the governor, Ms. Robeson, the federal authorities under Biden, they're not going to help you out at all. You know that.
That's clear. That's very clear. But the National Guard can support and supplement the efforts of our local law enforcement. We do have laws on the books where we can arrest and detain under state law. And I would envision increasing the penalties for some of those and adding additional state statutory authority, such as criminal trespass. We can have trespass laws that if our local law enforcement had the ability and the resources, they can start arresting under state law and detaining under
Sure,
state
you
law.
can do that. Texas has done that. You can pass new laws. They be challenged. You know that. Why isn't
Yes.
Ducey? Ducey's a Republican. Why hasn't he surged the National Guard?
He has sent some National Guard to the border, and he also just a week ago, I think, entered into a multi-state compact with other governors, because these other governors are realizing that Arizona, while we're on the front lines, we're passing a lot of drugs through our state into these other states, and in addition to all the national security, the obvious national security implications of an open border policy of Biden. You have to look at the human tragedy that's unfolding with the human smuggling and the sex trafficking and the drugs. And the
Yeah.
drugs are killing
Everybody
us.
knows it. Everybody
Yeah.
knows it. I mean, if you don't know that, then you're just an idiot,
Right.
and we disqualify you from any kind of a discussion. So everybody knows what a catastrophe this is, and the president and vice president don't seem to care. That's why they're going to get whacked in November. And if you do get the nomination, and I guess the primary is in early August in Arizona, you're going to have a good chance to be governor, because there's going to be a red wave. The final thing is, you want to revoke funding from sanctuary cities. I'm not aware there are any sanctuary cities in Arizona. Is Tucson a sanctuary city?
It is not currently, but I wanted to put every city in this state on notice that when I'm governor, I will use every power in my authority to revoke state funding for any city that chooses to go down that
Yeah,
path.
I don't think there are any.
And hopefully,
Right.
yeah,
You gotta,
with clarity, with
if you-
clarity,
if-
hopefully they won't go down that path.
Okay. Yeah, because they're not going to do that. Although Tucson's a very liberal area, as you know. That
Yes.
whole block there in Maricopa County could go either way, and that's the key to your victory or anybody else's victory in Arizona, convincing Maricopa voters, the largest county in the state, that's Phoenix, where you are, to support you.
Correct.
My last question is,
Correct.
do you have any idea why Biden's doing what he's doing on the border? Is there any information that you've gotten? I can't figure it out. It's so self-destructive, not only for him and his party, but
Right.
for the country.
Well, if there's two logical answers. They're either ignorant, stupid, or they know what they're doing. And I don't believe, at that level that, that they're ignorant or stupid. I believe they know exactly what they're doing.
Do you have any opinion or
And I believe
speculation
that,
as to why they want an open border with narcotics and human smuggling attached to it? Why would they want that?
I believe they want these people here to get them on the voter rolls. I mean, when you see cities like New York City allowing non-citizens to vote, I don't know any other logical explanation, but they want to have, these people come in, become members of the Democrat Party and vote for them. And that, just look at Title 42. You referenced Title 42. I mean, it would triple the number of people coming over. The
Easy.
caravans are already lining up on the other.
Right. Easy.
So, am I likely?
Right. It's staggering to
my
think.
likely opponent in the
Go ahead.
real quick, my likely opponent in the Democrat nominee for Arizona's governor in November was on record supporting the revocation of Title 42. We went up with a paid advertisement campaign last Friday, and as of yesterday morning, she buckled and backtracked and said no longer is it a good idea. So at least she had the good sense to see the potential ramifications of the revocation of Title 42. But obviously Biden doesn't understand that. And you mentioned earlier that he didn't have anything on his schedule today. I would just like to invite him to come to Arizona and witness the disaster that's taking place on our border.
Well, he won't. But we wish you the best, Ms. Robeson. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us today. As you may know, inflation is out of control thanks to the policies of this administration. Retirement accounts are especially vulnerable now. When inflation goes up, your savings goes down. Protect your hard-earned wealth against inflation. Please call the people I trust at American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. They are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Takes just a short phone call, and they will deliver physical gold and silver right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. So please don't wait. Call 866-501-5201. 866-501-5201 or text Bill to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201 or text Bill to 65532. So the final thought is about you and your money. I've said this before, but it's very important, and I'm going to hammer it home. Money is power. Money protects you. Okay, the reason the socialists and the communists don't want people to have much money is they're much more easily controlled when they don't. So you're powerless if you're poor. If you don't have any money, you have no power. Can't hire a lawyer to protect you. Can't hire a good doctor. Can't send your kids to good schools. Okay? You need money. Don't waste it. Okay? Don't buy foolish things. Don't speculate with your money. Don't gamble. You'll lose. Don't gamble. Don't buy narcotics. Don't buy a lot of booze. That's all wasteful spending. Respect your money. It's hard to earn. You know that. Invest it conservatively. Save as much as you can. Make a game out of saving it. How much can I save this month? Now, we have concierge membership to BillO'Reilly.com. In that crew, and it's more successful than I thought it would be, are the highest levels of our society. We're talking doctors and lawyers and politicians, clergy. Got a letter today from a Catholic priest, all anonymous. We do not give out any names on concierge membership. I can save you literally thousands of dollars. And the membership doesn't cost much, and you get a free book and discounts on everything we have. But travel, if you get hosed by somebody, if you have a question about finance, that kind of thing, can't give investment advice, but I can steer you to the places. It saves thousands of dollars for you. I can't understand why everybody isn't a concierge member. Coming back to the original final thought, respect your money. We'll see you tomorrow. Supply chain issues have been a catalyst in bringing high-tech manufacturing back to the USA. My tech expert and founder of Brownstone Research calls it the Great Recalibration, and he discusses it in his newsletter, Near Future Report. For the past 35 years, he has helped his subscribers safely navigate volatile times, and he also answers your most pressing questions, like how to protect your money from inflation, What are the implications of a new digital currency and the Great Reset? What will the Fed do with interest rates? And what is expected from the stock market in 2022? Brownstone Research has been at the forefront of nearly every major market move for the past 35 years. Let Jeff Brown help you by signing up for his newsletter today at a 75% discount. It's a 12-month subscription for only $49. Please go to jeffbrowntech.com. jeffbrowntech.com. jeffbrowntech.com.
Bill O'Reilly is back on TV and only on The First. No Spin News, every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on The First.